A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride.
Good morning, everyone. We are sitting in New Mexico, and I am working. I need internet. In the few travels we've done, we've realized that the internet is not very good at campgrounds. Everyone that travels knows that. You pretty much can't stream anything, barely can get on even to do minor banking stuff for most places. What Carrie and I invested in, which a lot of people are looking at now, is Starlink. And we got Starlink before we left Tennessee to hit the road. It worked great there at the house. We used it at the Harvest Host on the way here to New Mexico, and everywhere we were able to get service and maintain service at better speeds than we were getting off of Verizon hotspot or our AT&T hotspot. And so we are ecstatic that we have a Starlink. We're sitting here in Clovis, New Mexico, and there's just not pretty much anything to do here in Clovis. We're here visiting Robert, our son, and we're here for 2 weeks, and we are so happy that we got the Starlink before we left town in Chattanooga, because otherwise we would be in big trouble sitting here in the middle of nowhere. We got good connection with our phones, but with work and everything else, it's just nice that we have connection all the time, and we've had zero issues. I do video conferencing all daily. Carrie does huge spreadsheets with tons of data, and with the Starlink we've had zero issues. What I'm gonna do today is shoot some video for you guys and show y'all how we have our setup, what we do in the few places we've traveled. Here in New Mexico, we do have it on the roof. It's not a permanent mount or anything, it's just sitting on the mount that came with the Starlink, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. So I am weighing it down with tools right now. We are gonna get some permanent mounts, so we don't have to do that in the future. But right now it is being weighed down with some tools, and it's working great. We've had zero issues with the Starlink, and we are paying the mobile, so they did come out with an additional fee if you're gonna go mobile with it. And we went ahead and signed up for that to make sure that we didn't have any issues. Our service address is back in Chattanooga, and we are using this with zero issues, watching videos, watching movies. I'm doing video conference calls. Carrie's doing video conference calls for work, both of us, and it's had no issues whatsoever. We've uploaded some YouTube videos. One was almost 8 gigs. It did take a little while to get uploaded. The other videos we've done did within seconds, less than a minute for some of the others that were about 1 gig or a little less. We are really happy with it. We've had it for about a month now, and so we'll do a second video down the road to help kind of see what happens and where are some areas that might have more trees. On the Harvest Host we had here, we had one that had quite a few trees. I was able to find a service location that was still fairly close to RV to fit the 75-foot cord without a problem. The other Harvest Host, we had zero issues. I just put it right on top of the RV, weighed down with the tool bag. Here in New Mexico, obviously barely any trees whatsoever anywhere. And again, we got high winds here, and it's been working great. We just got a temporary mount weighed down. It is exciting for us to have this. Our initial impressions are one of our best buys for the RV. Here you'll see the Starlink router. So we have it plugged in right here. In our RV we have this little desk unit that actually has the TV that comes up. And with the TV up, the router is able to sit right behind it. The cable from the actual dish itself just wraps there, goes down, and then you can see just goes right under our slide. Right there is the opening that will actually go outside. It's just covered by rubber joints. I'm able to stick the cable right through that, and that way we're able to keep the router inside. As of right now, this is going to be the way we use it until we come up with something a little bit different with either some plugs type thing or some other route. But right now it's very easy to do. We just push it through that little opening when we get where we want to go, and then that way I can either have the satellite dish on top of the RV, or I can put it on the ground depending on where we're at, and whether it's a Harvest Host for a night or boondocking for just overnight or something of that nature. It's a great little setup, and inside kind of centers the router into the RV without a problem, and we get great coverage. As you can see, it is just a nice simple setup. It's a router plugged in, the cable goes down, it's out of the way, and goes right down under the slide, down in there right next to the door. And that way we're able to hook it up outside at whatever location we want.
A new place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive.